So this part of the process is about picking the right photos to complete your background and foreground. Now, normally you have some guidelines from the client about the design of your environment, but in that case, you need to find the right picture or go out and take your own pictures. Uh, but differently, if you don't have any base idea about what you need to do and you have like a free choice about that, you need to do the inverse work. So you need to start looking at photos and made up some ideas about what the environment should look like. And when I do this, I normally just check the images, and we can go to film strip here on Bridge. And what I do is I look at images without thinking too much about what to do, but just looking at the content itself. And that's why the reason why I do that is because most of the time I don't maybe like the whole picture, but maybe I found just an element that I don't know, maybe I can use in some way somewhere, and I can just take that picture and bring it inside Photoshop and say, okay, I keep this one here, I park this one here momentarily, and I will use it maybe in the next future, in the next hour, and maybe I will use just a part of it. And so I try to not be that picky about the content or about the whole content, I would say, but maybe you can just use a part of that photos to do what you need. Okay, the main thing is you need to anyway look for the same lighting. Okay, because of course you cannot use an image like this if the sun is coming from the right. As you can see here, the sun is basically here at this point, and we have a scene with the sun which is more on the right, and so the two type of lighting, they don't match, and there's nothing you can do. Okay, and the second thing you need to work with is the horizon. So I know that if I have a photo with the horizon visible, then I can just match the two horizons and the perspective will work perfectly without without issues. So what I'm doing now here is I'm just going and looking for some photos. For example, this one has the light coming from left, I suppose, yeah, because I can see the shadows there. And so I will use this one for the foreground, maybe, or a part of it for the foreground. I just need to flip it. And even this one I like. This is my old dog. And I mean, I can use this a part of the picture here where I have well cut grass, maybe. I can use this one, which is, perfect for the background because I have the lighting coming from far left, but I can just flip the image. And this is perfect also because of the sky, how the sky looks like in this picture. And if you have something like this, it's a lot easier to cut out because, as you can see, the sky is completely washed out. It's like very bright, and there's no clouds whatsoever. And when you have something like this, to cut out the fringe of every tree is a lot easier, I would say. But maybe I'm using this image only like here, and that's it. And I don't care about this area here. Maybe I need a little bit of an area for this right side of the house. Maybe I can use, for example, this part of this photo here. I can put it there. So you see, it's a little bit like a puzzle. You need to find some photos, define which part of the photo you are going to use, and then try to compose them together. And of course, the only thing you need to care about is the lighting, of course, because you have to match the lighting of your scene. Okay. and so on. And a few more tips about finding the right picture. Let's say that you are on a slope looking down, okay, in your render. So you need something that looks like you know I don't know, a grass field that is under your feet and goes even lower, but you don't have anything like that close to you in your town where you live. So what to do? Well, you can just go out, and instead of taking a picture like this, you see, looking straight in front of you, you basically look up with the camera. And so when you look up in the sky, inside the frame, the horizon will be lower than what it should be, and the vegetation you have there will be in perspective, like if you are on top of a hill. And this is the example, the other way example. You see, I'm in front of the same grass field, and instead of looking up or looking straight in front of me, I'm basically looking down. And the horizon now, it's up there, but if it's basically, I'm simulating that the horizon is still where it was at the beginning, so in the center. And this perspective, this grass field, looks like is going up. It's like I have a hill in front of me. Okay, so doesn't matter if you are like in the city and you don't have any hill or to take a photo of. You can just go in front of a grass field and tilt the camera, and basically you will have the same effects, the same perspective, the perspective that you need to have. Okay, so once you go out with your camera to take pictures, always get a picture with the horizon in the middle of your frame, one with the horizon in the lower part, and one with the horizon on the higher part. And with that 3 pictures, it will be enough to have the 3 type of ground that you need: the flat ground, the hill, or the slope going down in front of you. And that's amazing how it works, because it's very simple, but it's a very effective tip. Another thing you need to know about lighting on pictures is that it's a lot easier to work with photos in an overcast situation. The reason is there is no direct light from the sun, and as you may know, you can then paint your own lighting manually. So now that I've seen a few photos, I can just sketch some ideas on the post-production file. So I made a new empty layer, just a black brush, and I can see that in the bottom here, at the bottom here, I will have some trees, some vegetation, and down there you will have some lower bushes, or like some crop fields going in this area. Okay, I want something like behind the house, something like, I don't know, a very big tree here, which allow me to push the eyes on the building itself. Okay, one or more, I would say, one or more. And then here in the front, we can have something like some grass with a little bit of a path, bringing the attention on the building. And maybe we can have here something like a bush, okay, or a couple of bushes, and then some higher grass here on the side, just to be sure that we are going to look in this area, and we are not going to look on the right, because we don't care looking there on the right. Okay, maybe this part will be a little bit darker, and I don't know, maybe we have something cool here, like an area close to the swimming pool, okay, which is not in the original project. We just added because it's cool to have. with a little bit like well cut grass, like low grass. Okay, and so this is what we need. This is the photos we need, and then we can start with these ideas, and then we can modify the ideas while we're working. I don't know, we can have another tree here close to the building. And you see, what we are trying also to achieve is repetition. We have some shape here with the trees. It will be green, of course, and here again, and here again. And the brain will love this kind of connection, this kind of similarities, because it's a kind of a journey you do with your eyes, and if you can connect the dots, then you will feel a lot better. Okay, so now that we have a base idea of what to do, we can start bringing the photos, and in the file we can of course keep smart objects, because we don't know now how big they will be, and then we can start to cut them out very roughly to understand if they can work. So forget about making perfect and nice masks the first minute you place the photo inside the project, because maybe that's not the right photo, and you don't want to waste, 20 minutes on a wrong photo just because you need to cut it out. So now we import the photos, we cut them out very roughly, and we can take a look about how it looks like. Okay, so here we go with the first photo. This will be the photo for the foreground. Okay, 16-bit, right? We can import it, and we just make it bigger, pressing Alt and scaling from one side. We press Ctrl H so we can check the horizon, and I can think that probably the horizon is like somewhere over there, and sun is coming from the left in this picture, so I need to flip it horizontally. So press Ctrl T to get the anchors, and then right click in the photo, flip horizontal. And then we can take this and put it into the props folder, because props is about things we add on top of the render, and this could be inside the grass folder, and we can just mask the grass folder. So I put a mask on the folder, on the group. I invert the mask as I told you to do more than once, and then I can paint with a very art edge brush, see, just to see if it works. So okay, something like this. If it works, then I'm going to improve the quality of my mask. Of course, we can make custom brushes, we can do something better than this. I can say that I don't like this area here, so we can check with another photo, maybe this one. So we can try to import this one, or even this one, even if this one has the wrong lighting. So let's try this one. All right. Even this one should be flipped. And we should match the horizon. We put this inside the same folder. And we can just see if moving it and brushing it with a mask. So this time I'm going to use a very soft brush. It can work. Maybe we can fix that stuff later on, maybe copying one part of the picture. Maybe we can even take this one and distort it a little bit. See? We need to find something for this part, but I'm not, you know, I'm not worried about this. It's gonna work. It's gonna work for sure. So something like now for the background, okay, for the background, which is here, and we can use the same photo we have here, so we can re-import the same photo again. But this time we're going to move it somewhere here. So let's put in another folder. Let's flip it. And let's match the horizon, which is a little bit like this. All right. Even lower probably, but for now it's fine. Let me put this into a group. I call this group grass right, just to have a little bit of a difference. And then we can mask the group, invert the mask. And we can now do a very rough, you know, cut here with the lasso tool. I press Alt and I click on these points. I know this is not perfect, but I don't care about being perfect now. I just want to, you know, invert the mask. So I can now move the content until I'm happy with the result. See? That's it. And we can now look a bit more from far away and see if maybe we can just scale it. See? And of course, we need the background now. So we can just go back on Bridge and search for our background. This is it. And of course, the background photo goes into the background folder. So this is the wrong position for it. But anyway, before I just press Alt and make it bigger. And now I can just bring it down inside the background folder. And then we can flip it horizontally and just move it there to see if it could work. And I think is kind of working. The lighting is correct. And also the, you know, the size of it is not bad. We can make it even bigger to look like it's close to us. We can match the color of the fields there, so we don't have to cut them out, which is great because it's less work to do. And this is working. Of course, we don't care about the sky. We're going to cut out the sky in one of the next videos, you know, but just for now, we can do this, you know, invert the mask, or even better, if you don't like this, you can double click on the layer. And because of that background is basically white, you can just use the blend if option and go down with that. And as you can see, it works amazingly because the sky was actually pretty bright, okay? And if you have any problem, you can press Alt and divide that pointer to have a range of values to work with. But, you know, it's pretty solid. It's pretty good. Maybe we don't even need to cut out that sky. So you see how good it is to have the right photo. And I mean, if you are lucky enough to have an empty sky when you take your own pictures, you know, that's mean a lot less work in Photoshop when you have to cut out the picture. So this is it. And then we want something behind the building itself. So let's go back on Bridge. And I remember there is a photo here with this tree, and so we can try Now to put this one inside, press OK. I'm not doing any post-production on the photos. I'm keeping them as they are when I, shoot them. I mean, nobody stops you, of course, to try to do, some color correction if you feel like you need. But this is okay. This is something I like. I like the size. I like the position. And of course, we can try again with the same trick. Double click on the layer and we can go down with this. I mean, this doesn't look perfect because probably there's some, values in that photos that are not completely white, especially in between leaves, right? And so the match, the cutout is not great in this case, but it's enough to give you an idea if this image is working on or not. Okay, maybe we can keep the horizon. We can match the horizon of this picture. You see, with the horizon of the render. And we can, you can also have a couple of them, so we can duplicate this layer. See, make one of these a little bit bigger. Nobody will understand, probably. Maybe the trees on the back, we can make it darker. Okay, maybe this tree is a little bit big, it's too big now, but we can do something like this. And maybe we can push the other one a little bit further away. Like that. Just because we are here, we can add an adjustment, a curve on the second tree and make it a little bit darker. Of course, you see, if you make it darker, it will lose the blend if, because we are changing the layer, but it's just, just a test. And a little bit dark, it works a little bit darker. You see, to get just a little bit of difference between the two trees. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. I'm happy with the result. And so this is one way you can work with photos. You take a look at them, you pick a bunch of them for different reason. Maybe in one of them you like the foreground, in one of them you like the trees, and etc., etc., etc. And then we are missing a bush here, but we can find those things into a library I have. I mean, the more you know your assets, the better it will be, because you look at one image and you instantaneously say, okay, I know what to put inside this image. I know I have that tree. I know I have that bush. I know I have that photo of a crop field or a grass field, and etc., etc. So this is just a simple test, okay? In case you don't like something, okay, don't use it. That's it. That's so simple. Don't fall in love with the first image you put inside your render, because maybe there's another one which is better, okay? And maybe it needs less post-production. The light is better matched with your render. So guys, it's a sort of, it's a, a work of patience and test and trial and errors, okay? Bring in a photo, it works, very good. It doesn't work, who cares? Next photo. That's how you should think about this part of the job, okay? And you don't care about matching images, okay? You don't care if this part of the photo match with this part of the photo, or this photo match with the background. You don't care, okay? You don't care about colors. You only care about perspective and maybe lighting, okay? And I say maybe because maybe you have two photos which is like one with the direct sun visible, one photo is from an overcast day, and you will think about matching lighting in a second moment if you need, but right now is all about the type of content and if they well match together and if the perspective match, first of all.